All right, I'm in the 2020 Summer Major. I'm in Monday's practice round in the rookie division by my practice account. So I played my main account earlier today, and I played a practice round. And I went back and watched all the videos, so now I kind of have some basis from my original notes when I tried to set up the playlist and did the walkthrough and went through and kind of looked at them. So now I have some basic notes. Not really, like I said, I'm never worried at this point in the week about elevation numbers. Although I have some, and I may try some on some holes, I'm not super concerned at this point. Right now, it's just all about what clubs, what ball, what direction I'm coming from, what distance does it put me, what wind ring numbers am I going to use? Because as the week goes on, the only thing I want to be focused on is doing that minute adjustment where I'm still the only thing I'm working on is like the little elevation adjustment or the little bonus here and there putting it on. So I'm going to play all 9 holes. We'll see if we can get through them, and I will try and roll it up. So here's hole number one. This is one of the changed holes, and I came at it earlier today with an extra mile. I did plus 10 on the drive. I had a power 4 ball, and I was able to get over into this area without using any overpower and let it float up. I was just like rubbing up against the nubs and overpower. I was able to get up here nicely. I didn't write that distance down, but I was able to get up there nicely where I came at it with a Hornet and I was in mid club. So I'm going to see here, I've got a power 3 ball. That is the direction that I'm going to take here. And I think if you had a power 5 ball, you can get way up in there. But there's a couple holes here. There's one of the holes that they've redesigned that I'm going to take a power 5 shot on it, and I'm going to do some wild shot. I can't remember which one of the holes it is, but I'm going to do a wild shot. I want to see if there's a max overpower hook shot and see if there's a way to get on in one. So I'm going to take Titan, the king of balls. Let's see here. As far as bag goes, extra mile Hornet. That looks groovy. See if we can get some. See if we can get some outright chest and just win out on the course. So I'm using my teammate Kyle posts the notes every week, and I've switched my notes over. So I have 2 sets of notes. I have them the way I normally do them, and then I have the ones with pictures. I'm seeing if I can get used to the ones with pictures. I always use Golf Clash Notebook. That's why I was so excited when Golf Clash Notebook first came out, because I could go to that site. I could go to that site and I could check out these holes beforehand, because before that, like, there wasn't as much stuff in the community, so it was hard to find high res holes. So you pretty much had the little teeny, and I've got a little teeny handheld telescope. It's made by it's a Walter scope. It's an extra close focus, 4x12 field, 12.5 degree, and you can tighten it up, and it's almost like a little jeweler's loop, but it's a little telescope, and you can really get down on stuff. I used it building computers. I could look at serial numbers on cards. You can read anything with it. You can look at pictures online where there's writing in it, and if you try and zoom in on it, it gets distorted. You can look at it in the picture and see what that writing says. It's a pretty handy little device. Okay, they got over there nicely with a power 3 ball. So with overpower, we can make it cleanly over there. So it's just a matter of trying to hit it. Trying to hit it perfect. 2-6, there's 2-1. About a ring and a quarter. Push the wind back in. I'm going to put a little teeny bit of movement on it. Hitting it perfect. See if we can not hit it so far that we end up in sand. Hit it in that area nicely. See how far forward we can get. Let's see what shadow that is. We're just on the outside edge of that shadow at 424. For the Titan. We keep track of those distances so that we know like where we're hitting to out there, so we know what our range is. Now it's all about establishing like which way we're going to go. So originally, like looking at the hole, it looked like there might have been a rough bump here, but I think the only club you could take it with is a Goliath, and you don't have really good ball guide. And a rough bump works better when you can use a club that's got really good ball guide. Saturn worked really well on this. Grizzly. There's max grizzly, and there's min grizzly. So there's mid, so it's 1.7, 1.5 at mid. $1.5. There's 4.5. Hitting it perfect. That was just a straight up adjustment and got pushed off of the cup. So when we talk about doing a percentage on that particular shot, I should have did like a +10 from where I was at. And the deal there is that you can go, well, we're not doing a +10, but it's where I'm at in my club. So I'm not necessarily right at min club, and I'm not at mid club, and I'm not at max club. I'm somewhere in between. So you have to pick a number, and then based on that number, that you may be off. So it may be 0.4, 1.4 instead of 1.5. Or in that case right there, that's exactly what it would be, is it'd be a lower number. It'd be like 1.4. I should have pulled a little bit more to get to the number. So you can add on a percentage on that, or you can add on some points, or you can change the win number. And that's why everybody's got different numbers. You have to find that stuff out for your clubs based off of what numbers you're using. If you're using the app, you're going to get, you'll probably be consistently more consistent because it's doing the math for you. So I can't do the rough bump up here. So I'm going to do the bounce over. So there's max club. There's min. So I'm about mid club. So it should be like 1.2 per ring. And I'm going to do a little bit over. I'm going to do a 3-ring pull. There's 1.2. There's 2.6. I'm going to do around a 3-ring pull right to the edge of the sand. Just try and hit it perfect. Hitting it perfect. See if we can bleed up towards the cup. That's one way that you can come at this hole. Just a bit outside my speed. And so there's two things there. My speed, if I was going a little bit faster, I would have stayed on trajectory, and it tailed off right there at the very end. But if you do a wind ring, if you're doing a wind adjustment, that effect's still there. And so you may slow. So if you go further to the left, you're actually getting further away from the hole. So you go a little bit to the left, and then when it starts to tail off right there and you're trying to compensate for it tailing off right there, you're now further to the left, so you'll end up being short and in front of it. And so actually in that shot right there, what I needed was a little bit more speed, and I hope that I could get it just right so that it hit the flagpole and go in and not bounce out of the hole, because then it wouldn't have broke at the very end. All right. What hole was that? We're like 500 holes into it. Is that hole number 1? That was hole number 1. I took so long on that hole. I'm going to have to shoot these as individual videos. All right, that was hole number 1 of the 2020 Summer Major and Monday's practice round in the rookie division. Thanks for watching.